Okay, so I got some noise canceling headphones. So I had to pull over actually and explain what's going on with me right now. So I'm surprisingly a little emotional. So if I tear up or if I start crying, just know that it's not a big deal. Like, it's okay. If you have been following me on Facebook, or primarily Facebook, or like if you are someone I talk to in my everyday life, you've heard me talk about my either auditory processing challenges, or you've heard me talk about my auditory sensory issues. In the recent years, months, I've become really aware of how overstimulated I get by sound. And it's normal sounds. It's normal life sounds. It's not like anything extraordinary or extreme is happening. But I do get very easily overwhelmed, and I have built like a sound cocoon in my home. So when I'm out in public, I am drained very easily, and then I come home and I have to like recover in this sound cocoon, which is just, a spot in my house that's far away from everything, where I have like a fan blowing on high, not because I'm hot, but because it creates a buffer of sound. And I tell my kids like not to bother me while I'm there. And then I start to feel bad because I'm like, they're just children, they're not doing anything wrong. They just want to communicate, or they have needs that need to be met, or, they're making noises related to childhood. They're excited, and so they're making noise. Nothing is wrong, but the way that it feels in my body is like I'm screaming, like I can't take it anymore. Like I can't take the sound. And so recently, like last week, I made a post basically saying that if I could, I would get noise canceling headphones and then only communicate by text, because when I get overstimulated, I don't want to talk either. It's like the work of having to hear and then process and then speak in response is really overwhelming. And so I said, if I didn't feel like my children would be bothered or feel like I didn't care about them, then I would get noise canceling headphones and then require that they communicate with me by text. And so that was literally the only thing stopping me. And then finally, like today, I decided, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get the noise canceling headphones and then go from there. Oh, and part of what gave me the confidence to do that today was after I made the post basically explaining that that's what I would want to do, noise canceling headphones and communicate by text, I actually lost my voice. And for no reason. I hadn't been, screaming. I wasn't sick. My voice went away for more than 24 hours, but an extreme 24 hours where I literally could not talk. And I have 4 children who are coming at me with communication needs, and I cannot talk. And so I got to see how they respond to that. And what I found was that they were more intentional about their communication with me. They got close. They looked me in my eye. They put their ear out because all I could do was whisper. My older children, we communicated by text. They stepped in some because they realized I wasn't able to communicate in a lot of ways. So it didn't, it was fine. They adjusted. No one felt, bad or anything. And so that made me feel good. That made me feel like on an occasional basis, if this is what I need for me to be okay, then that is an okay solution. Okay, so that led me to today. I went ahead and I got the headphones, and then as soon as I got home, hooked them up, tried them on, and I went outside and I'm going somewhere. So I've been riding, and I realized I can ride with the windows down because I don't have to hear the sound of the air coming through the windows. So I get an experience I love, which is to feel the warmth of the sun and the breeze on my skin without hearing that noise of the air passing by. And I literally just started crying. Like, tears just started coming. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, what? That's not an appropriate response for this. Like, yes, we're enjoying this new experience, but why are you crying? And at first I was like gonna shut it down, but then I'm like, no, we're not in that space anymore. If your body's trying to release, let it release. And then they kept coming, the tears kept coming, and they still keep coming. And what I'm realizing is like the amount of tension that I hold in my body is so immense that within a few minutes of shutting my ears off, I could release. Like that tension was gone. And then the hope that gives me for the days to come, knowing that I can do this for myself. Like, I don't have to be that tense anymore. Like, I don't have to be on guard for noise. Like, you can't get rid of noise, but yes, you can get rid of noise. And so I got really emotional because I felt like this was such a good decision for myself, because I've been expressing this need for a while now and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And so finally to get to the point where I'm like, we're going to do what you need to do to feel good. And we're just going to let it be okay. I feel proud of myself for having made the choice to just do what I needed for myself. And the immediate relief was so overwhelming. It literally brought me to tears. And so now I'm thinking about what other ways can I protect myself or soothe myself or accommodate myself in this world. You know, because the amount of relief I feel in this area is so immense. Like, I want to find other areas now where I can provide this same type of healing accommodation. Relief. Like, they're not even tears of joy. They are tears of relief. I'm so relieved. I'm so relieved. That's all.